The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and the guests, and do not necessarily reflect the views of any affiliated individuals, organizations, or sponsors. The content is provided for entertainment and informational purposes only, and should not be taken as professional advice. While we strive for accuracy, we make no representation or warranties about the completeness, reliability, or accuracy of the information discussed. Listeners are encouraged to verify facts and form their own opinions. The host and producers are not responsible for any errors, omissions, or outcomes related to the use of this content. By listening, you agree that the host and the production team will not be held liable for any actions you take or decisions you make based on the information presented. Thank you.
You're listening to Doja Told Ya Radio.
J.D. Vance said full immunity for the ICE officer who shot Renee Good in the face, a mother. There's not going to be a Fox News headline. There's not going to be a CNN headline. Elon Musk isn't going to tweet anything. Stephen Miller isn't going to host his podcast with his wife and announce. There is no announcement. You have to understand and admit it to yourself. This is what it looks like. Blatant, unlawful, unconstitutional bullshit. Attacking a country under the guise of extracting an evil dictator, then telling everybody you're going to steal their oil, run their future oil indefinitely, sell that oil on American land, and then store the money from that oil in offshore accounts. And every time we say the clear thing of, hey, this is unlawful as fuck, we get an absolute bullshit answer. 2 people were shot in Portland today. The Trump administration claims that Portland looked like a war zone, so they sent the National Guard there. And then the Supreme Court said, no, you can't just send the National Guard anywhere with no evidence to back up your allegations. This is what we're seeing. There's not going to be an announcement. You're not going to open this app one day and there be some official announcement that it has started. It's scary, but it's here. They shot a U.S. citizen in the face and gave the man a pass immediately.
You're listening to Doja Told Ya Radio.
Welcome to the Doja Told Ya podcast 169, yet another segment. I don't know, we probably on part 6. Still knee deep in politics. And that was Long Live Judah's TikTok post. There won't be an announcement. There won't be an announcement. We are here. This is what the next revolution looks like. This is what the toes of the revolution. Matter of fact, we probably all the way at the shins. Wait till we get to the kneecaps. And then we're going to be waist deep in the new American Revolution. So yes, we left off talking about ICE harassing, arresting, detaining, and now murdering American citizens. Many people are mourning right now in the country for Renee Nicole Good. May she rest in peace. And today we are going to talk about the incident that took her life and the other Americans that have also been killed by ICE. There's not an official tally, but we also have to talk about Keith Porter Jr., who died on New Year's Eve. Black man who was also killed by an off-duty ICE officer. So it's going to get a little heavy. It's going to get a little heavy. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out, man. This is Doja Told Ya Podcast. In case this is your first time, we talk about new music, social commentary, and politics. And this is an unapologetically uh, pro-black platform, but we welcome support from all ethnicities. I can't really talk with these headphones on. I'll be trying, but yeah, we welcome support for all walks of life, all people. Um, I came around and actually started realizing that there are a lot more allies that some folks like to give credit for. But at the same time, we just here to I'm just here to tell it as it is from my perspective, whether it's about some music, whether it's about some social commentary. And today we will be talking about some politics. But first thing first, make sure you like and subscribe to the page, man. I appreciate you for doing that. And make sure you share with someone. We are trying to build a community here. If you would like to give a contribution, the Cash App is Doja Tolja Radio, DOZHATOLDYA. I haven't had many contributions on my Cash App, but my brother once told me if I don't ask, then I don't plan to receive. Closed mouths don't get fed, and that doesn't mean for you to send anything. Shit, I appreciate you. Shout out to him though. Shout out to my other brother, man, RC, man. Happy birthday. One of my biggest supporters. I mean, I practically owe this man my life. RC, my former co-host and best friend in the whole wide world, man. I love you, brother. It was also my older brother's birthday. Suspenseful Spencer Jones. Happy birthday to him. It was his birthday. Thursday? Yeah, happy birthday, bro. I owe him my life as well. It's pretty much been the guardian angel of my life, my entire life. He turned 49 and he's in so much great shape. He's a brilliant mind. Just overall great guy. And I appreciate you, brother, for the support. I wouldn't be where I am today in this platform if it wasn't for those two brothers, man, RC and my brother Suspense. So I want to start the show off by saying thank you to those guys and happy birthday once again. All right, so now that we got that out the way. Oh, also, shout out to our sponsors. It's not a game apparel. It's not a game apparel, man. INAG.com, man. Check them out. They got some good gear over there, man. Tell them Doja sent you. Shout out to Pud. Shout out to Miss VA over in Omaha, Nebraska. Also, shout out to our sponsors, Royal Blunts, man. Break over that Royal Blunts, man. He came by and laced me with some gifts and stuff like that. So we're going to be representing, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be representing those who support us, man, a lot. So we appreciate y'all. All right, so let's get this thing started. Where we left off at, man? We left off at ICE harassing Americans like it was in style, man. Like it was the business. Because if it was the bees knees to harass U.S. citizens. And I mean, I don't know. There was so many different clips that I had to share with you guys. I'm not sure which one that I landed on last. But unfortunately, we're here. So, okay, how do we do this here? This post says from Anonymous, your Anon Central, Trump regime ICE troops murdered a U.S. citizen, a woman in Minneapolis. She was shot point blank in the face. According to witnesses, footage shows her drive away as ICE troopers shoots her car window, causing her to lose control. It actually was a lot worse than this. This was one of the first videos that I collected about this incident. And trigger warning, this footage is very explicit, and we're sorry that we have to revisit this incident that you probably have already seen plenty footage of. This is probably one of the murders that's going to change the trajectory of the United States of America in the 21st century. The murder of Renee Nicole Good, excuse me, sorry.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking God! What the fuck? What the fuck? You just fucking, what the fuck did you do?
Just like that, the entire country has been changed forever. After an ill regard for life, an overextent of jurisdiction, of force, and I'm looking at this thing in slow motion. I'm just running this thing back. Because why do you now have to intimidate American citizens to try to take this woman out of her car? That's illegal. She backs her car up and is attempting to flee. She's not a criminal at this point. Before she even puts the car in drive and get to going, really get the car in motion, he's already reaching for his weapon. This man was filming her with his cell phone. I don't know why. And he just got into a slight confrontation with her wife, who, as she's backing up, tells her, who's also trying to get in the car on the other side. We can't see that part, but she's trying to get in the car on the other side, and she tells her to drive off. There you see her coming out on the other side. And before this woman's car gets to going, within the blink of an eye, the ICE officer pulls his weapon, draws his weapon, while holding the cell phone in the other hand, lets off 3 shots, point blank, right into the windshield, and then the other 2 in the side of the window. And then what happened after this is really the worst part. What happened after this is where things get downright evil. Because after Renee Nicole Good is shot and her car crashes nearby, in front of her neighbors, in front of her wife, in front of her neighborhood, you have people in the neighborhood that is offering to help. And ICE agents deny a physician the chance to at least try to stop the bleeding. And Renee, Nicole Good, bleeds out in her car after being shot 3 times for what? Protesting, for observing the activities of ICE, agents, making sure, you know, there's accountability. It's really sad, man. It's just like hard to talk about this type of shit. Here we go.
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician.
I don't
Listen,
care.
we understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second.
We have...
No, you don't get it. That's not getting it. The other dude, that's what you should be getting. What he said, I don't care.
Go check a pulse.
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician.
I don't care.
That's exactly what you should get. Talking about we get it. No, you don't get it. Because if you did get it, then you would be talking to the other person that just said, I don't care.
We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second.
We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my fucking neighbor. You caught butter in the fucking face. You killed my fucking neighbor. How do you show up to work every day? How the fuck do you do this every day? You're killing my neighbors. You're stealing my neighbors. What the fuck, man?
And that's just the craziest thing, because you want to do the right thing and you want to try to save a life, but you also want to survive and have self-preservation and not end up killed or detained and jailed yourself. So you want to obey the law, but what is the law when the law is killing its citizens? When the law sends troops to intimidate its citizens, that there is no law. The law is supposed to protect its citizens. It's supposed to keep order. And it seems that the law is losing order.
Now, ICE just murdered a woman in Minneapolis. Now, ICE killed a white woman, which is interesting because obviously their rallying cry is defend the homeland. Parentheses, against niggers, Mexicans, Muslims, etc. So why then, you ask, are there so many black and brown ICE agents? And why would they kill a blonde-haired white woman? Because what you gotta understand is that white supremacy is and always has been a front. It's a cover for capitalism. It'll use Uncle Tom's, case in point, Sam, L, and Django, and it'll kill white people. John Brown, the famous white abolitionist, in order to keep exploiting you. It's not and has never been about race. Race is fucking fictitious. It's some shit that they made up to justify the pillaging of Africa for free labor and resources. They just hyping these Trumpers up so they could run off with the bag. That free labor is what enabled America to become the richest country in the history of the world. Race was just a justification for exterminating the Native Americans. This stolen land mass is what enabled America to become the richest country in the history of the world. And the longer that you're concerned with hating me for my race, the richer they get.
I wonder how many oranges Vic Mensa has on that tree. He seems to pick a lot of them. Because he has to do a lot of these speeches damn near like 3 times a week. And wherever he is, the tree is fruitful. And so is your knowledge, Van. Vic Mensa, Chicago artist, And I'll say he's shaping out to be quite the political scholar. Appreciate you, Vic. So they're murdering American citizens in the streets, and the worst part is that they're trying to cover it up. Donald Trump tweets after Donald Trump's tweet after what we just watched is the scariest part. This is the evil part. This is what Donald Trump tweeted about Renee Nicole Good being murdered in Minnesota. I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator. He's speaking about Renee's wife. The woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer. She did not run over the ICE officer. You guys seen that? Who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. He did not need to be hospitalized. He may have had some bruises at most. His ego was the biggest thing that was hurt. And he was also, we'll talk about that later. The situation is being studied. Obviously not in its entirety, but the reasons these incidents are happening is because the radical left, there he is with his blaming, the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They are just trying to do the job of making America safe. We need to stand by and protect our law enforcement officers from this radical left movement of violence and hate. And he signs off. So that's the worst part. The cover up. They got the freaking audacity to try to cover this shit up. Donald Trump and Kristi Noem attempt to tell you that you didn't see what you know you saw. And that's when things just got, well, things already was out of hand, I ain't gonna lie. But that's, I think, when the revolution was sparked into a fire. When Kristi Noem and Donald Trump attempted to cover up a stone cold murder.
In fact, the very same officer who was attacked today had previously been dragged by an anti-ICE rioter who had rammed him with a car and drug him back in June. In fact,
you're not making it any better, Kristi. You're not making it any better by deposing that information. His name is Jonathan Ross. The ICE agent that she's speaking on that was dragged in a separate incident last year by a fleeing driver was holding a cell phone in his hand and a gun in the other. He switched hands with that cell phone to make sure that he had his shooting hand free. And then what he said after he shot that woman is going to also have you appalled and angry. This woman, Renee Nicole Good, may she rest in peace. Again, a legal observer making sure that ICE is doing things the right way and is held accountable if they aren't, was murdered. And then our government attempted to cover up what happened in Minnesota. Let me see if I can find another clip of the bullshit that Kristi Noem attempts to shovel about what we watched. Call that woman a domestic terrorist. And call her wife an agitator.
This is an experienced officer who followed his training, and we will continue to let the investigation unfold into the individual and continue to follow the procedures and policies that happen in these use of force cases. But let's remember the events that surrounded what happened yesterday on that tragic situation was that these individuals had followed our officers all day, had harassed them, had blocked them in. They were impeding our law enforcement operations, which is against the law. And when they demanded and commanded her to get out of her vehicle several times, she did not. So we'll continue to allow this process to unfold.
So all of that means that when they demanded and commanded her, so now, it's if you don't comply, you die. What? Is this America? If you don't comply, you die, basically. Got it, Kristi. Thank you.
And recognize that these law enforcement officers every single day put their lives on the line. These policies and procedures that follow a use of force situation like this are continuing to be put in place. So this is standard operating procedure after every use of force situation, is that we follow these procedures and protocols. This situation is no different.
Oh, it's very different. It's very different because this is not an officer. Renee Nicole Good was not a criminal. And so now it's our turn. Now it's the people's turn to organize, to react, to speak out, to come together, to fight back, to vote out those who are not going to do what we demand is right for the American people. The time is now. The primaries are coming. But I don't even know, we're not sure if we'll make it that far. God willing, we will have another as I would say, fair election. But as it's looking right now, it's not looking like we're going to make it that far.
I have what appears to be leaked body cam video from the federal agent that murdered Renee Good.
Yeah, this is even worse, right? So the body cam footage makes it even worse. Because it's not body cam footage for one. It is it was cell phone. The cell phone footage is gonna make you even more upset.
Villagers are blowing whistles and yelling at federal agents.
Go home to Texas!
Then, federal vehicle officers in.
All right, so let's watch a couple of clips that show a little bit more of what happened that day, and then what happened after.
Bystanders are blowing whistles and yelling at federal agents.
Go home to Texas!
Then, federal vehicles start moving toward the maroon SUV, with sirens and lights blaring. A federal agent films the scene on his phone. The driver rolls forward slightly, turning left, then stops and waves for others to go ahead. Two agents exit this silver pickup and walk toward the vehicle. Moments later, shots are fired. Let's look at the scene again more closely. This is the agent who shoots the driver. He walks around the car filming and disappears from view. Other agents pull up and order the driver to exit her vehicle. One of them grabs at the door handle and reaches inside. The SUV reverses, then turns right, apparently attempting to leave. At the same time, the agent filming crosses toward the left of the vehicle and grabs his gun. He opens fire on the motorist and continues shooting as she drives past. The moment the agent fires, he is standing here, to the left of the SUV, and the wheels are pointing to the right, away from the agent. This appears to conflict with allegations that the SUV was ramming or about to ram the officer. President Trump and others said the federal agent was hit by the SUV, often pointing to another video filmed from a different angle. And it's true that at this moment in this grainy low-resolution footage, it does look like the agent is being struck by the SUV. But when we synchronize it with the first clip, we can see the agent is not being run over. In fact, his
feet shuffles and avoids from getting ran over, and he may have just got pushed back slightly by the start of the car when it started to move forward. Now, Jonathan Ross was filming Renee, and he walked around her car, and he had something to say to Renee after he killed her. Let's look at Jonathan Ross's cell phone footage. Damn dog in the back seat. Dog ain't even barking, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's a chill family, man, because if the dog ain't even like barking, ready to do something to you, then them folks live a pleasant life. Because the dog just happy, or just bored, or just docile. No, not aggressive. That just shows, dog shows the personality of its owners, in case you don't know that. But let's get back. I'm sorry for interrupting this clip. So he walks around. Pay attention to the smile on this woman's face as she is de-escalating even in a confrontation. She's not confrontational. Even though she's being surrounded by officers, she may be in fear, but she doesn't show that she's in fear. She doesn't show that she's angry. She smiles, reaches out, showing her hands.
That's fine, dude. I'm
And she says, that's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later.
And so you have the neighbors, a group of people on the sidewalk observing.
That's fine.
With their dog. You have Renee's wife filming.
U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy.
And so there is an antagonizing remark from the wife of Renee, and Jonathan Ross is ticked a little bit.
Go ahead.
And so now his ego is bruised. As you see the officer coming out of the silver truck, rushing towards Renee to attempt to illegally seize her. Renee, in a fearful reaction, backs the car up, turns the wheel so that she doesn't strike the officer. Her wife is telling her, screaming at her to drive off. She's being reactionary out of her fear. You know, we all have the fight or flight reaction. And her flight reaction.
Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Was still in the mind state of making sure that she leaves safely without hurting herself or the officers. And there you have it. After shooting her 3 times, maybe getting bumped by a vehicle going 2 miles per hour at the most, Jonathan Ross calls Renee Nicole good. Her words to him was, "I'm not mad at you." His final words after killing her was, so this is where we are as a country. What is law anymore? What is order? It's just terrible.
Want to know what I think? This is what I think. I think Jonathan Ross got out of his car. He was filming and wanted to take evidence of whatever was happening here. Then as he approaches Renee,
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad.
not only is she not trying to agitate or aggravate the situation, she's actually trying to de-escalate the situation. Then Jonathan Ross goes to the back of the car where he encounters Renee's wife. There's something in this part of the footage that I think is important to note. See here, you can see in the reflection of the car, his phone is in his right hand. Then as he's filling the license plate, he encounters Renee's wife. And big, strong Jonathan does not like what she has to say.
It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car.
Did you catch that? While they're having their exchange, he walks further around the car, and then he does this. He switches the phone from his right hand to his left hand, because what side of his body is his firearm on? See? He was ready. He switched his phone from his right hand to his left hand so his right hand could be ready. This was before the car was moving, because Renee only started driving forward once this guy started pulling on her door trying to open it. But Jonathan Ross already had his gun unholstered. I mean, what does that tell you? Here's what I think. I don't think Jonathan liked that these two women were getting in his way. I don't think that he liked that these two women were emasculating him and making him feel small. Go get a sandwich, big boy. He doesn't like that feeling. He's the big, strong man. And how dare these bitches make him feel like that? And is anyone shocked that these ICE agents are not only racist, but they're also fucking misogynists? He didn't like that these women were standing up to him. He didn't like that they were in his way. You can even hear it after he puts 3 bullets in Renee's fucking face. He says this. He doesn't care that the woman that he just shot 3 times was dead or alive, but he made sure that he called her a fucking bitch. And again, her tires were to the right. His body was to the left. If she wanted to run him over, she would have gone straight. I'm no forensics expert. I'm no crime scene investigator, but I'm seeing what I saw.
We all saw similar. Well, I can't say we all saw similar things because I've had people, challenge that. It was vehicular, possible vehicular, an attack with the car, whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. It's quite upsetting. Very, very upsetting. And so yeah, rest in peace, Renee Nicole Good. She was a mother, a wife, dedicated wife and mother who was killed by Donald Trump's ICE thugs. Okay, maybe that says that picture was not her. Okay, maybe that wasn't her. Okay. You gotta be careful with some of these clips. I'm sorry, y'all. You gotta be careful with some of these clips. So now we have to discuss the fact that Renee Nicole Good is not the only person that ICE has murdered. And in fact, we have to start doing more investigation and more inquiring on what is happening after ICE is rounding up these people. They're said to be deported to concentration camps outside of the country. And I've seen articles, and there was that scrapped time investigation piece that spoke about people being tortured in these ICE concentration camps in these prisons in Panama. So it's nasty, man. But now we have to we got to talk about Keith Porter Jr., 43. Okay, let me gather myself real quick. Keith Porter Jr., 43 years old, born. Oh no, that's when he died. Of Los Angeles. This is him. Village Point Apartments in Los Angeles. Died of a gunshot wound, killed by an off-duty federal ICE agent during New Year's Eve event. I've read reports that he was shooting his gun in the air during the New Year's Eve event in his apartment complex. The ICE agent lived in the same apartment complex that he did and was not on duty, did not have on any gear to represent himself, and killed Keith. Okay, so this is from Ben Crump's page. It says Keith Porter, a 43-year-old father of two, was fatally shot by an off-duty ICE agent on New Year's Eve. His family says there's no proof he fired at anyone. DHS claims, Department of Homeland Security, claims the agent acted in self-defense but offers no evidence to support that. Keith's family and community deserve answers as to how this tragedy transpired in the first place. Thank you, Benjamin Crump. Really a Black American hero. Keep doing what you do, sir. Let's check out this Fox News report on this developing story about Keith Porter Jr.
Oh my God, he just loves so deeply. Just days into the new year, the mother of 43-year-old Keith Porter is still filled with grief and disbelief. According to law enforcement, her son Keith fired celebratory gunshots into the air with an AR-15 style rifle outside his apartment complex on New Year's Eve.
Armed with an AR-15 rifle, possibly suffering from a gunshot wound.
An LAPD report states the off-duty federal officer confronted Porter, identified himself as law enforcement, and claims Porter fired toward him, prompted the officer to return fire.
What should have been a simple arrest and possible a citation has turned into a death sentence.
The family's attorney says this all could have been avoided.
But instead of staying in his apartment for a trained law enforcement officer from LAPD to respond, he made the premeditated and calculated decision to grab a firearm.
Fox 11 reached out to the Department of Homeland Security. In a statement, the department said the off-duty ICE officer bravely responded to an active shooter situation at his apartment complex. In order to protect his life and that of others, he was forced to defensively use his weapon. DHS goes on to say their officer immediately called police.
According to his version, Keith shot 3 shots towards him. We have questions on if there was any shell casing recovered from Keith's weapon that would indicate he in fact fired the weapon 3 times.
Keith's family and their attorneys say they have yet to find a witness to corroborate that the father of 2 fired towards the off-duty officer.
Now, DHS tells me they're referring any further questions to LAPD, which is currently investigating. We reached out to LAPD earlier today to see if they have yet to identify that off-duty ICE agent. They responded saying as of right now, they have nothing further to share on this case. Reporting live tonight, I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you.
Knew we couldn't get out of this unscathed. Black folks thought that they was going to be able to sit this one out. The problem is we've been doing too much sitting out. And all that sitting out gets people killed without people talking about it. I mean, we don't really expect anything else in this country due to the history. And reputation for endangering Black Americans. Here is somewhat of a tally of other Americans, or other people, I would say, rather, that were also murdered by ICE or disappeared by ICE agents. And I'll go through these names. Jamie Garcia, Marie Blase, or Blaze, Isidro Perez, Johnny Novuelo, Abelardo Delgado, Hoon Yin, Brian Rayo Garzon, Juan Tieno Martinez, Maxim Serkniat, Ramesh Amashad, Pankaj Kataria, Jose Castro, Brittany Bamaka Sicarius, Jean Javier Buenvides Quintana. My apologies for butchering these names too. I apologize. Jenry Ruiz Gillian, Tien Fan, Roberto Valdez, Lorenzo Vargas, Silverio Gonzalez, Randall Esquivel, Ishmael Ayala Uribe, Xiaofang Ji, Jean Brutus, Imam Abdul Qadir, and Renee Nicole Good. And notice that even this list failed to record Keith Porter Jr. So, no, ICE is not murdering people now. ICE have been murdering people and disappearing even more for quite some time. And just a tidbit of information that all of this presence, police presence in cities, blue cities, of course, that's not the only cities that they are sending ICE. They are sending ICE to red states as well. Red states also have blue cities. Blue cities and red cities also have blue pockets, blue communities. And these agents are being sent. Damn, sorry about that, y'all. These agents are being sent to these communities for intimidation factors. Because Obama deported nearly 3 times the amount of immigrants than Donald Trump deported this year. And we never had anything that looked like this. Deportation stats by president. Here we go. So you got Bill Clinton deported about 12.3 million people, mostly border returns. George Bush, 10.3 million, mostly returns. Barack Obama, 5.3 million. Highest former removals, 3 million plus returns. Donald Trump, his first term, 2017 and 2021, 2 to 3 million. Joe Biden, 4.7 to 5 million, highest returns. Post Title 42. Donald Trump, 600K. They claim it's 600K former deportations and 1.9 million self-deportations. ICE agents representing enforcement across areas. Okay, I'm not really sure what any of that means. I'm not sure, but here's a nice little video that represents the amount of people that I promise you what people do with AIs. It's quite ridiculous, hilarious, and sometimes fun at the same time. I ain't gonna complain too much.
In constitutional law knows ICE. Anyone well versed in constitutional.
So even they say that boy JD Vance just be out there talking, boy. So JD Vance, Trump, Kristi Noem wants us to believe that
I'm not mad at you.
the person saying that's fine, dude, I'm not mad at you is a domestic.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
It's so terrible. So JD Vance want us to believe that the officer who did that deserves absolute immunity? Is that what he thinks is righteous? Is justice?
I'm not mad.
Let's see. Let's listen to JD Vance speak about Renee Good or Jonathan Ross.
In a person's heart or in a person's head, and obviously we're not going to get the chance to.
Here we go. Come on, JD. Let's hear the bullshit.
Here is very simple. The precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action. That's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity. He was doing his job. The idea that Tim Walz and a bunch of radicals in Minneapolis are going to go after and make this guy's life miserable because he was doing the job that he was asked to do is preposterous. The unprecedented thing is the idea that a local official can actually prosecute a federal official with absolute immunity. I've never seen anything like that. It would get tossed out by a judge. So what I'd like Minnesota to focus on is the real issue that they're encouraging people. Minneapolis officials are encouraging people to commit violence against ICE officials.
Okay. So this young lady had something to say about what JD Vance had to say about absolute immunity.
Constitutional law knows ICE agents are not subject to absolute immunity ever, actually. In fact, no federal agents, FBI, police, none of them are subject to absolute immunity. Actually, ever. Absolute immunity only affects a very tiny, narrow amount of people. Judges, just for judicial acts, my grandfather was a judge. Prosecutors for core prosecutorial functions. Legislators for legislative acts. Of course, as we all know well, sitting U.S. presidents under 603 U.S. 593 for official acts. Although once they're no longer president, we can run that back, reassess. Enforcement officers, again, including federal agents, are never subject to absolute immunity. JD Vance coming on the news saying he's got absolute immunity, he's a federal agent, this is a federal issue. Cool. That's not what the Constitution says, though. Let's give JD the benefit of the doubt. Maybe what he meant to say was an absolute immunity, but he got it confused with qualified immunity, which is something that ICE agents actually do have. Qualified immunity protects ICE agents if and only if, IFF, they do not violate anybody's constitutional rights. Now, just think of a random example, like in Minnesota, for example. You know, Renee Good, who just got shot. Before the shooting even occurred, the agent pulled on her car door handle. Is that a problem? Yes, it is, actually. Because under your Fourth Amendment rights, regardless of the fact that the door was not successfully opened, that is considered unlawful seizure. This is why it's important to know your rights. Because that happened before the shooting even occurred, that is a breach of her constitutional rights. Your qualified immunity out the window. While we're here, I might as well just sort of bullet point this. Agents cannot force you to exit your vehicle without a judicial warrant that is signed by a judge. Now, if they claim that they have that, they do have to show it to you. Otherwise, it doesn't count. This is not to be confused with their own in-ICE warrant system that they have, which doesn't actually mean that you have to exit your vehicle. So if you see just a warrant, don't think that that means you have to do it. You have to say, is this a judicial warrant? Where's the signature from the judge? You don't see that, you don't gotta listen. They cannot force or prevent departure. They cannot initiate random traffic stop. They do require probable cause to request that you exit your vehicle. And within ICE's own policy, it's generally discouraged to ever shoot at a moving vehicle. There's a very, very narrow margin wherein they think that it's sort of okay, but generally they don't want you to do it. Why? Because you have to then go back and prove if somebody does get hurt or does die that you were under the immediate threat of death or violence. And if we look at the footage and we go, hey, I actually think you were just scared and you were ultimately fine, that's not enough. Constitutionally speaking, an unlawful order does not then suddenly become lawful simply because someone was scared. A person is not required to submit to unlawful ICE detention. You can say, am I being detained? If they are not actively detaining you, you can leave. You can straight up leave. And that applies to everybody, regardless of if you're a citizen or not. If they're not detaining you, they're not detaining you. You can go. You don't have to answer any of their questions. You don't actually even have to talk to them. You still have the right to remain silent regardless of your immigration status if you're in the United States. Ultimately, ICE cannot compel compliance the way that police officers can, because they're not the same thing. Because police officers, they're practicing criminal policing. That's over here. ICE officers, civil policing. That's over here. They don't have the same rights. They're not the same thing. ICE overwhelmingly relies on the fact that people don't really understand what they can and cannot do, and often take advantage of people's ignorance. And you get an attorney, don't talk without them, don't sign anything without them. That's why it's so important to know what your rights are.
Appreciate it, Daisy Foco. That was a very, very good, informative. Very good and informative video. So, ICE is killing American citizens. They are sending ICE to cities all over the country. They're doubling down, in fact. And this is supposed to be a year that the U.S. thinks it's going to host the World Cup.
America has an undercover police force that's authorized to shoot you in the face in broad daylight, lock you in a cage, or profile you for an even slightly foreign accent or appearance. And it's hosting the World Cup, a tournament that's supposed to represent global unity, while it's also actively invading, bombing, and threatening other countries that don't agree with it. It's disgraceful. Do not come to America for the World Cup.
Yeah, that really doesn't make any sense. We don't see 2 and 2 equaling 4 here. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So I still have to get to Epstein stuff, Greenland, Venezuela. Been doing this for an hour already. Oh my goodness. And the kid who was arrested at the Target, it's just so much, man.
You guys should be ashamed of yourself. All you should be ashamed of yourselves, dude.
All right, guys.
No, we got people right there. We're not going anywhere, man. You guys are foul. We don't want you here in Minneapolis. We don't want you guys here.
Step back.
No. I'm not stepping back. Not stepping back. You should be ashamed of yourself. Be ashamed of yourselves.
We'll make it right here for now.
Be ashamed of yourselves.
If they start getting crazy,
just get out of here. Crazy. You guys are the one being crazy. You guys are acting like fucking Nazis out here. Acting like Nazis. Who do you think you are? You guys are foul, man. We don't want you guys here. No one wants you here.
The zone is now
no
right
one wants
there.
you here.
I need you to move down
No.
there now.
No.
Move down there
No.
now.
Move
you behind the pole. I'm going to
No.
move you behind the pole.
I got other people here. We got other people. No, get off our property.
Move behind the
You're
pole.
on school property,
Hey guys,
sir.
this guy is obstructing.
They're on
I'm gonna
school
give you
property.
One more shot.
You're on school.
One more shot.
You're on
Move
school
behind the pole.
property.
Move
Why are
behind
you
the pole.
touching me, dude?
Move.
Why are you
Move.
touching me?
Move.
Why are you touching me?
Get back.
You guys are fucking traitors. You guys are fucking traitors. Foul traitors. You guys are foul. No, don't touch me, dude. Why do you think you can do that? Take your mask off. Take your mask off, dude.
Don't give him a chance.
Take your mask off.
Don't give him a
Take
chance.
your mask off.
Don't give him a chance to shoot you, Candy.
Shame. Take your mask off. Take your mask off. Shame on you. We don't want you here. We don't want you here. Get out of Minneapolis. Shame on you. Shame on you. How can you work for Border Patrol? You make me sick. Shame on you. We got people all around you guys. Look at where's people over here. What about people over here? He's over here. Keep going over there, man. There's people all over. We're not. No. Shame on you. Shame on you. There's people all over. You guys ain't stopping anyone. No. You ain't stopping anyone. No. Get your fucking hands off of me, dude. Get your hands off me, dude. Shame on you. No. No. What the fuck?
This doesn't even look like America anymore. What the hell is going, like, are we for real?
5, who did not pose a mortal threat to him, and if she did, tell me how. And he killed her. He didn't shoot a mob, he shot an unarmed woman who was under 5'5", who did not pose a mortal threat to him, and if she did, tell me how. And he killed her. And so just on the basis of those facts alone, I need to know more.
She was killed, and she shouldn't have been killed. And that thug that killed her, there was no reason to shoot her. At blank range, cold blank range, they shot her.
Do you approve of lethal force against unarmed citizens, particularly a 110-pound woman with no warning?
Do cops get to shoot people without a warning? I don't think they do, actually.
Cops, that officer, bad things should happen to him. He shot her, and she was totally defenseless.
She posed no mortal threat to anybody, not even conceivably.
They shot a young lady in the face who was protesting. They shot her in the face.
And her death is like totally fine because we don't like her politics?
The only one that was killed was a beautiful young lady. She was shot. She had never been shot. She was shot for no reason whatsoever.
There's a woman in this room whose daughter was murdered. No one has cared about the person that shot and killed her, and no one in this Congress has really addressed that issue.
Who was the person that shot an innocent, wonderful, incredible woman right in the head?
A wonderful woman fatally shot.
The gag is, while this entire episode segment has been about Renee Nicole Good, that clip, the Republicans in that clip, we're not talking about Renee Nicole Good. No. They were talking about another woman by the name of Ashley Babbitt that was storming the Capitol on January 6th and was killed trying to get in a restricted area and trying to break a barricade that can possibly lead to national officials. Yeah, she was disregarding national security and she was fired upon. It's absolutely not the same. And it's just sickening how it's sickening the double standard that the conservative Republican Party that they demonstrate day in, day out, just in so many different examples. It just makes me sick. But we really have to do something about this dictator that we have in charge. in this regime. It really is time for a regime change. And we still have so many things that we need fixed in this country internally. But now the monsters in the Trump administration are setting their guys on outer national conquests. That of Venezuela, Greenland, for starters. And we're gonna have to talk about that when we come back. When we come back, we're gonna have to talk about the country invading Venezuela in the middle of the night, kidnapping its president and its first lady, the president's wife, and holding them on criminal charges related to drug trafficking. While at the same time, the leader of our country gives a pardon to the former Honduran president who trafficked tons of drugs into the country, making billions of dollars. The double standard is just the tip of the iceberg with this administration, with this cult that we call MAGA. So we're going to talk about that as we finally maybe wrap up the political conversation, political segment of yet the latest episode of the Doja Told Ya podcast. 169.
Voted for Donald Trump, regardless of party, because this is what we believed was going to happen.
America First will be the major and overriding theme of my administration.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment.
They're controlled fully by the lobbyists, by the donors, and by the special interests, fully.
So the American people honestly believe that Donald Trump was going to put Americans first and America's interest, domestic interest first, that he could not be bought by special interest groups, by private donors, by public donors, all the above. Yet now looking back, just in 2025 alone in this administration, there has been 7 separate bills or legislation introduced, passed, or sitting on the House or Senate floor just for Israel alone. One of which that was introduced would give the IDF the same benefits as U.S. service members. Trump's administration and the Department of Government Efficiency has cut the Department of Veterans Affairs budget while simultaneously increasing Israel's budget by $10 billion. That is not America first.
I know. It seems like we're about to start a whole nother show. But we'll be right back. We're more of the Doja Told Ya podcast 169. Rest in peace. Also, rest in peace, Renee Nicole Good. Rest in peace, Keith Porter Jr. and anybody else that has not been represented but has suffered a loss due to this administration and this this act of cleansing, of so-called cleansing America of its illegals, its undocumented immigrants. We still have so much more work to do. God bless them. That's it. That's hard to say now, right? This is quite hesitation. God bless America, though. And God, please bring us back to where we were when we were on the right track. Thank you, everybody. I'll see y'all on the next segment of the Doja Told You podcast.
You're listening to Doja Told You Radio.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Dame Doja. If you're looking to get your interview done or be a guest host on our podcast, hit us up at dozhatoldyapodcast@gmail.com. Bump what you heard. Remember who told you? It's Doja Told You.